A man responsible for a deadly shooting in Beloit learns his fate, the number of years he'll spend behind bars.
Plus, more reaction to the return of thousands of jobs at the state line. The update on the reopening of the Belvedere assembly plant and reaction tonight.
And college leaders call on the governor to release funding. Some universities claim they're facing a fiscal cliff.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We welcome you in tonight.
New tonight at 5, a Beloit man guilty of a fatal shooting learns his fate.
The 39-year-old man was sentenced in Rock County today. Kevin Payne will now spend 15 years in prison, followed by another 10 of supervised release. He was convicted of second-degree reckless homicide in August. Authorities say in May of 2024, Nikita Green was shot on Dewey Avenue in Beloit. He died 2 months later. Payne was later arrested in Fort Wayne, Indiana, following a car chase with U.S. Marshals. Payne's accomplice in this chase, Terry Vance, was previously sentenced to 4 years in prison for his involvement.
3 people are recovering from injuries following a shooting in Freeport last night. Police responded to East Winslow Street just after 11. They were alerted by the city's gunshot detection system. Officers found 3 men between the ages of 39 and 50 with bullet wounds. Investigators believe the 3 were at a house party when 2 people fired shots from outside. Police believe this is not a random act of violence, rather a targeted attack. No suspects have been identified.
Tonight, the chief judge of Winnebago County condemning alleged threats of violence against a fellow judge. It is over the pretrial release of a murder suspect. Judge Heidi Augustin approved the release of Variana Parsons a day after Parsons was arrested for murder. And now the judge says she and her family have been getting threats. Parsons and Sean Bunton Jr. are accused of killing Kyle Stevens under the Whitman Street Bridge. Now, Bunton is still at large. Winnebago County State's Attorney Jake Hanley filed a motion to challenge the decision to release Parsons, saying the judge ruled in error. And the mayor called the ruling, quote, at best disheartening and worse negligent. Chief Judge John Lowry reacting to the threat of violence against a fellow judge, saying Parsons' release. The unintended consequence of the tone and content of these statements has had a real consequence of endangering the safety of the judge and her family. He went on to say such statements cross the line from expressing disagreement with the ruling to attack her on judicial competence and integrity. Tonight, we are getting reaction about the Belvedere assembly plant reopening, creating more than 3,000 jobs.
Stellantis says it's investing $600 million to get the plant back up and running by 2027. Eyewitness News reporter Stephen Lewandowski joins us now in the studio with more. Stephen?
That's right, Mimi. Many are worried that the plant would never open back up. And with this investment from Stellantis, they're estimating roughly 3,300 new jobs to be created upon the plant's reopening. Now, the closing of the plant forced many auto workers to leave the area. Now, with the plant reopening, the hope is to bring back the jobs that were lost in 2023, something that means a lot to Belvedere's mayor.
I felt sorry for them because a lot of them had homes here in Belvedere. A lot of them had children in school. So it certainly is tough. And, so that to me has been probably the biggest heartache is to see a vibrant plant that then was shut down. And it's certainly great to see it come back and reopen here in Belvedere.
We are told that the plant could have a third shift once reopened, but it will need some updates to support the full operation. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Stephen. Today is Infant and Pregnancy Loss Remembrance Day, and a local health system's working to address an often overlooked topic. Pregnancy loss can affect up to 20% of known pregnancies. While the causes of miscarriages can vary greatly, the grief that those expecting feel is often universal. UW Health Swedish American Hospital offers a support group to parents dealing with loss. It's called How to Catch a Falling Star.
It is a grief that many endure, yet finding a community and finding support can be very isolating. Watching parents endure the pain in losing a child or losing a pregnancy really sparked the need and desire to start a support group that would be open to our community.
That support group meets on the second Wednesday of every month.
Education advocates in Illinois say they aren't seeing roughly $25 million of funds included in the Illinois budget. This spring, lawmakers passed an additional 3% increase in funding for higher ed, but only 1% of that funding has been dispersed. Advocates for universities across the state say that shortfall couldn't come at a worse time. Dropping enrollment and federal cuts are squeezing school budgets, and soon they will have to decide what programs to cut just to keep the lights on.
We can't wait any longer. Higher ed is at that fiscal cliff and it's hanging over the side. And we've been waiting for 2 decades being cut. And so this is the time where we're calling on the governor to release that 2%.
They also believe these funds are being withheld because of a wider economic uncertainty.
Local high school students get an up-close look at potential career paths. RPS 205 held its Academy Expo today. More than 2,000 freshmen learned about dozens of different businesses and organizations in the area. The event's designed to help kids start thinking about career options. We spoke with one business owner about why he volunteers to be part of the expo.
These events mean a lot. When I think back to when I was in high school, you know, these are the type of events that really pushed us to go to the next level because we were able to see that, you know, it's right here in our community. We don't have to leave home to find success. Success is right around the corner. So I think that these events really make it helpful for kids that maybe not see it on a regular basis.
This is the 14th year the district has held the Academy Expo.
Time is running out to nominate your pick for 2026 Golden Apple Award. The deadline for submitting an exceptional middle school or high school educator is tomorrow. Teachers in Boone and Winnebago counties are eligible. We have a link to the online application form on mystateline.com. 20 finalists will be selected from the nominees, with the 5 winners being named next year. And today is a final day also to donate to the citywide diaper drive. It's hosted by the City of Rockford in partnership with Goodwill of Northern Illinois and Rock Valley College. Organizers are collecting diapers and pull-ups of all sizes to benefit the Baby Bank, a nonprofit that provides families in need with baby supplies. You can donate at City Hall, Police District 1, 2, or 3, Rockford Fire Headquarters, or at Rock Valley's Centrum Center and Educational Resource Center. A U.S. representative visited the state line today.
When we come back, Democrat Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy's stop at a Winnebago County nursing home.
Our temperatures briefly made it to that 60-degree mark here this afternoon, but we've spent most of our time in the 50s thanks to the cloud cover and some ongoing rain showers. Find out when those are expected to come to an end in the forecast coming up.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Illinois is ditching the federal health insurance marketplace.
The state is planning launching its own exchange next year. The Get Covered Illinois program is aimed at giving the state more control over cost and federal uncertainties. It will replace the federal healthcare.gov. Those who are not covered by workplace insurance or they're self-employed, perhaps early retirees, all qualify. Illinois is joining 18 other states already running their own marketplaces. Open enrollment for Get Covered Illinois starts November 1st. A Democratic congressman from Illinois visited Rockford's largest nursing home to speak on the future of health care.
U.S. Senate candidate Raja Krishnamurthy was at River Bluff this afternoon. The lawmaker toured the facility and talked with administrators. During his visit, he spoke on the importance of Medicaid and the risk he believes the One Big Beautiful Bill Act poses to it. Krishnamurthy says Medicaid covers costs for roughly 2/3 of nursing home residents in the state. He also spoke on renewing the Affordable Care Act tax credits, which he says are major points of debate for Democrats during the shutdown.
So we should do the right thing. We should authorize the extension of these premium tax credits so that people can afford health insurance, take preventive measures, do more early to take care of themselves, and avoid those kind of urgent situations that become very expensive for everyone.
Congressional Republicans, meanwhile, say the ACA is a failure and blame Democrats for the shutdown. President Trump has warned that cuts will continue until the government reopens. So far, over 4,000 federal employees have received layoff notices. It was a chilly day in the state line today. Temperatures barely made it out of the 50s.
When we return, Candace will let us know if we could see some rain later tonight. Her forecast is next.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, the clouds, they have been aplenty out there throughout much of this morning, afternoon, and will carry over into this evening. And from time to time, we've had a few rain showers pass through. We look live with our SkyTrack camera out in Rochelle here this evening, looking off to the northwest. Cloudy skies will stick with us through tonight and at some point heading into tomorrow as well. We've had a few showers work in from the northwest down to the southeast, kind of decreasing overall in coverage here within the last hour or so, but not before producing a little bit of that light rainfall coming down. You can still see a couple of sprinkles there extending from Sterling up to Oregon and then just to the north of Pawpaw. Overall, that coverage, as I mentioned, continues to decrease here this evening, and within the next hour, we'll see much of this kind of fade away. Skies will stay cloudy going through the night tonight, and we'll see some additional very light showers develop after midnight tonight. 59, though, the temperature in Rockford. It's been a cool one today. 57 in Freeport, Janesville, 55 in Poplar Grove and Harvard, and 58 that current temperature now down in DeKalb. So as we go through time with Futurecast, we can see a lot of that shower activity wrapping up within the next hour, maintaining that mostly cloudy sky here as we go through the night tonight. A few additional light showers can't completely be ruled out, more in the spotty nature there as we head at about 2, 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, but then those skies will start to dry out there as we head through the morning. Now that boundary that has been sitting to the west of us, which is why our winds have turned to the east today and brought us that cooler air, begins to lift back north as a warm front. So along that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of showers that try to develop throughout the day, primarily to the north in Wisconsin and perhaps just off to the northwest. But as we thin out some of that cloud cover, trying to at least into tomorrow afternoon, that could get our temperature back up close to 70. But I do think the numbers will climb as the wind picks up from the southwest getting into Friday afternoon. And if we see a little more sunshine, temperatures could make a run for that 80-degree mark on Friday, but it is going to come with a wind, so it does get windy there. Cold front extending off to our northwest. That front has actually been slowing down a little bit, now coming through more during the day on Saturday. So showers and even a few thunderstorms. We've got some instability around. Late Friday into early Saturday will be possible, and at least for the first half of Saturday with some of the rumbles of thunder. You can see some of the darker colors there, and you could get some heavier rainfall associated with that heading into Saturday morning. We're still going to maintain that southerly wind, but notice Galena, the wind shifting around to the north. So through time on Saturday, that front will gradually begin to move through as we head into Saturday afternoon. So 53, that's where we'll head for the night tonight. So not a big drop in our temperatures here from where we are right now. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll see some sunshine tomorrow. I think our temperature will make it up close to 70. If not, we'll stay in the upper 60s. Now let's talk about this pattern getting into the weekend and towards the end of the weekend too, because there's been a little bit of a change. What we're looking at here are the winds in our jet stream. So those stronger winds where you have more of those concentrated colors like the orange and the red. We've got this ridge of high pressure that builds in. We still have a little moisture underneath that, which is why we keep some of the cloud cover around. But watch what happens this late Saturday night into Sunday. We get this dip in the jet stream. See this red right here? This is an area of winds in the middle part of the atmosphere that are roughly about 100, 115 miles per hour. So that translates into a strong low pressure system that'll develop along that cold front Saturday into Sunday. That could bring us another round of some showers. But guys, the wind will pick up there on Sunday, and then temperatures will drop back through the 60s next week.
Thank you, Candace.
Drew's in next with sports. The Chicago Cubs have a lot of decisions to make in the offseason. Hear from the team's president coming up.
And the team that ended the Cubs season has to win tomorrow to stay alive. The Brewers game preview up next.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
The Cubs season is over, but there still remains a lot of questions in the organization. Cubs president Jed Hoyer held his annual end-of-the-season press conference to answer some of those questions. Of course, a 92-win season is a successful season, but winning in the regular season is one thing, winning in the postseason is another. And most people think that the Cubs need to extend and sign more players to give this team another bump up heading into next year. Questions regarding Kyle Tucker, Shodi Imanaga, and others were brought to the Cubs president this morning, and this is what he had to say.
The margins are really close in the postseason, and we just have to continue to strengthen our roster in different areas to withstand that. Obviously now we're sort of into free agency, and we'll be talking to Casey, and we'll be having those conversations. And so, I mean, like I said a bunch of times during the season, like everyone can use a guy like Kyle Tucker. Everyone gets better by having a player like that, and we'll certainly be having those conversations.
And the team that beat the Cubs in the playoffs are one loss away from being swept by the Dodgers. The Brew Crew are in some deep trouble, and now they will face the Dodgers in LA. Star pitcher Tyler Glasnow is expected to start for the Dodgers. Just another brutal matchup for the Brewers' bats. This all-star rotation for the Dodgers has held the Brewers to 3 hits in the 2 games they've played. But we'll see if manager Pat Murphy can rally the Brew Crew.
Pitchers were as dominant as 2 pitchers have been. We chased way more than we've chased all year. We've been the best in baseball at not chasing. These pitchers brought out the worst in us. If I would have told you that the Dodgers are going to score 7 runs in 2 games, and what was the outcome in the first 2 games, I'd say there's a chance we won one of them for sure.
The Blackhawks won their first game of the season Monday night, and they're looking to make it 2 in a row. They'll face the St. Louis Blues tonight. Puck drop is at 8:30. That's sports. We'll be right back.
It's gloomy out there today.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, it's hard, because the sun gets, I was going to say gets up, but the sun doesn't get up. The sun rises. I mean, sure, yeah, it gets up, right? And goes to bed at night. The sun rises after 7 o'clock, so it's already later in the morning. And then you add in the cloud cover on top of that. It's hard to get up and get going when you've got that. And you've got a few showers out there, too. The first one, interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Glass and More, shows a lot of those beginning to really kind of diminish here. And we'll see that over the next hour. 74 tomorrow, more rain and a few thunderstorms Friday into Saturday.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks for watching. We'll see you at 6.